Hi, I'm Jim Pence with See the Light. Glad you came by for another edition of The Joy of Art. Well, last week we learned how to draw the billowing smoke that comes when a rocket launches. And of course all of the different colors represent the light that's being shed by the rocket engine itself. Well, today we're going to work on just finishing off our really simple rocket here, and also going to draw the fire. Now, with the smoke, I mentioned last week that the further away we get from the rocket and the engine, the duller and darker the colors are going to be. The closer in, the brighter, because the clouds or the smoke a lot of it is shielding some of that light, and that's why down here you don't see much of the yellow, but up here, the closer you get to the engine, the better and the brighter the light is going to be. Now, if I'm drawing the smoke or the fire rather, I'm going to just start out with almost kind of like a teardrop, reverse teardrop really, look. Okay. Okay. Again, because here is your engine roughly right there. Okay, so this is the closest to the engine. This is going to be the brightest. I might even put some white right there in kind of the center of where that smoke or where that fire is coming out. Okay, now I'm going to, because it's getting a little farther away, I'm going to take some of my yellow orange. Like that. I'm going to go to my light red orange and throw a little of that in. Now again, we're doing kind of a cartoony rocket launch, not trying to be photorealistic here. So you might not see all of these colors in the real thing, but this is dark red orange here. But you got to have fun when you draw, and that's kind of what we're doing here. So. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is start at the center. I want to make sure my hands are clean when I do this, or as clean as my hands get. I usually wear an apron and will wipe my fingers on the apron, but I didn't put it on. So wiping them on my jeans right now. I'm going to start in these brighter colors and just carefully kind of blend like that. And pull that down. Okay, I'm going to come back in with a little bit more of the yellow, lay more of that on top. The main thing you have to be really careful with is if you blend too much, you're going to dull your colors. So you don't want to go too far there. Might throw a few white streaks and stuff in just to make it look a little bit more interesting. But that's probably about as far as I would go in doing the color, the different colors in the fire. Okay, now for my rocket, since I started it in yellow, I think I'm going to kind of keep in that general idea. Of course, if you look at pictures of real rockets, most of the time they're just plain white, but white's kind of a dull color. So let's, I'm taking yellow orange here. Now, because I am drawing, and this is a little blacklight technique, even though I'm drawing in regular chalk, this is a technique that will help you learn to work with blacklight. I could just color in the whole thing, but because I have a dark background, I want to use the color or the darkness of the paper to help me shade. So I'm going to put most of my color on one side here. And here, again, I mentioned light sources last week. You want to kind of at least think of where your light source might be. And if you want to get really complicated, I mean, some of it would be reflecting back from the clouds. There might be, security lamps and different things. All that's a little bit more than we need to worry about. I'm just going to assume a light source on the right side of the paper. And, for me, the reason, if you watch any of my drawings, particularly chalk drawings, you'll see that the light source always comes from the right. And it's just a very practical thing for me. It's easier as a left-hander to draw on the right side. If I was right-handed, probably most of my highlights would be on the other side. So, that's kind of a chalk artist's issue, because when I'm drawing fast, I want to take the fewest possible motions as I need to get my picture drawn, and so it's easier for me to highlight on this side as opposed to going to the other side and working against the grain, as it were. So I'm going to now just take and I'm going to soften this. I'm going to leave a lot of that dark there. Same here. I'm just doing one of the fins. And I'm going to leave that one there. So I've already got some shading in there, and I'm taking advantage of my dark paper. I'm going to come back in with my bright yellow, which is what I originally outlined it with. I'm going to add a little bit of brightness on the edge. Come down the edge of this fin. Come down the edge of this fin. I'm pretty much going to leave this one untouched, because if I have another light source over here, it's going to hit this. It's not going to hit that one. So I'm going to pretty much stop right there. Just very gently take my finger back in and smooth the edge slightly. I really want to be careful not to wipe out all that nice yellow I put in there. Okay, and so now I have a rocket that is taking off. If you want to combine this, and remember one time several months back I showed you how to crush up chalk and blow it and create a star field. You could do that, or just have fun with it like it is. But I hope you'll practice this week and focus on getting your rocket drawn, and then we'll come back next week and I'll show you how to do this with black light, and that's really fun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.